how did we meet? How did we actually become friends?
Oh, wow. We didn't become friends immediately, did we? When we had our first big quarrel. I think we didn't speak for like a year or two.
No, it wasn't that long. Yeah, I felt like a year because I think I was under a lot of pressure, even though that's not an excuse for how I acted.
I was so angry that I could not look at your post on Instagram.
I'm not, I don't want to talk to the girl.
This is the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast.
It's been a while. I don't even know how to start. Hi guys, we're welcome back to the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. I know we took so long of a break. I'm so excited to be back and to be bringing all these conversations that you're probably already having with your friends and now I'm having with my friends. So today I have the very beautiful, the very wonderful, the very, what else? Very special, precious Ada on the podcast.
Hi. You asked me how my weekend has been. My weekend has been really good, very packed, but really good. How's your weekend been today?
Well, this is the start of my weekend, but basically, like, the days leading up to today, I feel like I'm very nervous because I haven't filmed in a while.
Okay.
So, like, as the day was getting closer, I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm so scared. Like, I was going over, like, everything, like, again and again and again. Oh my goodness, I was so stressed. I'm not going to lie, but yeah. The way we're starting this podcast episode, because people are always, like, sending me questions and all of this, so I'm going to be reading an audience member's question and you're just going to be having a conversation.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, Ezinne. Please tell me if you've ever dealt with this before. My best friend, maybe ex-best friend, and I are not as close as we used to be, and we've been friends since secondary school. We did not go to the same university, and we made other friends, but it was never an issue because we were still close. Shortly after we graduated, she got a job offer in the UK and left the country, and that was when things started getting weird. She would take days to respond to my messages and then she would always say it's because she was busy. But then on her Instagram stories, I see her hanging out with people who I think are her new friends. And now she's living a life I cannot relate to. I miss our friendship and I've tried getting as close to other people as I was with her, but it's not just the same and it's not working out. I tried confronting her once about her changing behavior and the conversation did not go well. It was awkward and we've barely spoken since then. Last week, I found out she got engaged on Instagram. And I did not know she was that serious with her boyfriend. I feel so sad. Are we still friends or am I overthinking things?
Oh my God, that's so... I think one thing I've come to learn is that in friendships, there are different phases and different seasons. And there will always be seasons where you and a person will be really close, really there for each other. But you have to understand that people change and times change and seasons of their lives change. Just have a friend where for a particular season in our life, we were very, very, very close. And then we grew up, things got busy, they got busy, I got busy. And I was expecting them to be a certain kind of way, but the environment that they were in, they got into, the environment that they are currently in does not allow them to be that friend that I always knew. And most times, it's not exactly the person's fault. It's not also your fault. And there's little to nothing that you can do about it, except really just accept it. So depending on the dynamics of your relationship, the person uses the term best friends, you can have really hard conversations. And I'm guessing they might have had this conversation. And you just see that it's not working. It's actually not working. So my advice would just be to now look at your current season, where you're currently at, the current phase of your life that you are in, and the people that are present in that current phase. And, just face them and direct that energy towards them too. So that current phase. So there might be a phase in the future where that former friend, either you move to the UK or they move back, or just you become, or there's just something that allows you guys come back to that same space and you can easily, go back to the place that you originally were at. But for now, you internalize it, and then you end up painting that person in a really bad picture in your heart, and you end up getting very hot, very angry at them, and you don't want to get to that point. So my advice would just be just let it be. Like, don't force it. Don't force it. Trust me, the last thing you want to do is force friendship.
Oh my God.
Don't force it. Just focus on the people that are currently present in your life and be there for the ones that are there for you as well. And just, go with the flow. It will be easy. Oh, don't stress, please.
But have you ever been like the person that, let's say you are the friend that is in the UK that is not like, that is changing? Have you ever been the changing friend before?
Yes, I've been in that situation where there was a point in my life where my walk with God took in a new level, and I was getting really, really close to God. And there was a friend that I could no longer keep up with, and I actually handled that situation quite poorly because what I did was I just cut her off. I just could no longer look at her content on Instagram. I was just looking at her, I'm no longer in this level. I can't be. I did not handle that well. So I just cut her off. I just stopped texting her, and and I think it was a year or 2 years later, she texted me and just poured out how angry she had been. And I think at that point I had gained better perspective. So I looked at it, and the thing is, you actually have to be someone who is truthful with yourself. If you didn't handle something properly, like don't be fake. You didn't do it well. Own up to your mistakes, apologize, and see how you can, improve, what you can do better. So I genuinely looked at it and I was like, yes, I shouldn't have. And then I shouldn't have cut her off. I should have told her that, okay, there's a way I could maybe do it in a way that there was a softer landing.
Don't you think that's maybe what this girl was trying to do? Like maybe just keeping her distance. So like just gently hoping this person will... because like there are like people that might be like, okay, I don't want to be so, confrontational and be like, get away from my life, but they will just like slowly withdraw.
Well, I mean, the dynamics works differently for different people, but I think at a concept level, the biggest thing has to be communication, one way or the other, and you have to bring this other person into. This is a human being, a heart you're dealing with here, regardless of how the friendship went or how the friendship is. You must understand that you're dealing with a person. These are people, and they have emotions, they have feelings. Like for someone like me that over analyzes things, I will start thinking of the 100 things that I did wrong.
How did we meet? How did we actually become friends?
Oh wow! How did we become friends is different from how did we meet. How we met is we didn't become friends immediately, did we? We did not.
No, I don't think so.
We didn't become friends immediately. How we met was one of my friends had posted a blog post. Posted a blog post that he had written about an encounter that he had with God. And this was at a point in my life where I had just gotten saved, let go of all the friends that I had. I was literally asking God, like, God, I needed a new set of friends. I needed like-minded people, and I could not in my wildest dream imagine that there were people my age that knew God this way and were ready to run with their faith and all of that. So I tapped the link, I read it, I was like, oh my God, wow. And then I think I sent you a DM on Instagram, and then you sent me the Telegram group to TC, and then I joined, and I think that's how it started. But that was not how we became friends.
I think I just started seeing you on the group. That's where my own memory starts. Like, I started seeing you on the group. Like, you were so enthusiastic. I was very enthusiastic. She would like take pictures and write like love to tell them about, wow, this is gonna be and I was like, he's gonna.
I've always been that bubbly person.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any more questions.
No.
I have. But the question is about how you felt when we had our first big quarrel. I think we didn't speak for like a year or two.
No, it wasn't that long.
Really?
It wasn't that long.
So
It wasn't that long. But I felt like, a year, because I mean, being our thoughts from me for just a month felt like a year. I get it.
No, I feel like it was more than
It
that.
wasn't up to you.
Oh,
It wasn't. Because you still came to my wedding now, and we quarreled before I got married. So when
That means we quarreled at one time.
No, it was just once. It was a huge huge quarrel?
I think after the wedding I was hurt about it. Okay, yes, that was the time that you were now, you know, we were withdrawing a bit, we were withdrawing a bit. So at that point, I did not know where I fit into, and I just completely removed myself from the equation. But how was it like? I mean, I don't even know.
I feel like our relationship was much different then from what it is now. You know, first off, I have grown a lot more since that time. But at that time, like, obviously, when I started seeing you on, TC, and I think it was just one day we had like a convo and we talked for a long time. I think you called me about something and we just spoke for hours and hours. And I was like, wow, this girl is pretty cool. Like,
I am, guys.
Yeah, we just spoke for a long time. And, sometimes you're talking to some people and they might be talking about God, but it's not the same like frequency. And it's not even about the spiritualism of it. It's more just like you see God the same way. You are kind of experiencing the same thing. So I really felt that with you, and it wasn't forced. It was natural.
Yes, actually.
So that was a big one. And then we started talking, and then, it was almost from a thing of like, from us talking, it now became like, let's start working together.
Yeah.
So which is why to this day, I don't want to work with my friends because, anyway, but we just started working, together. And I think I was under a lot of pressure, even though that's not an excuse for how I acted. But I was under a lot of pressure, I was under a lot of stress, and I just felt like, obviously now because of my husband, I've learned better how to like communicate or speak with people. But there were times that I felt like, Precious should know this now. That kind of thing there. Without like taking the time to be like, Precious, I would really like you to do this or, do that. And so at the point I started feeling like, maybe because we were friends, that was why you were not taking the work that we were doing seriously, or maybe the way I would have liked you to. So it was just messy. And I think we had like, I was even shouting at you on the phone or something and I cried. And he cried.
It was really, really...
It was messy.
It was very messy.
Very messy.
And that thing got me for a very long time. Should we talk about how we reconciled?
Of course, because like, I was feeling so like justified in my anger. And I feel like that just goes to show that there's never really one side here.
Yeah.
So even this person that is saying, oh, this friend did this, did that, like everybody has their own point of view, whatever happened that is valid. And, I think you just suddenly reached out to me one day. I was just like, oh, can we talk? And then we spoke.
Guys, let me tell you need to learn how to have hard conversations. Like, you can't, trust me.
Just throw people.
You can't know. You have to learn how to have hard conversations. You have to learn how to be accountable to the people around you. And
it's to be humble.
And how to be humble. Trust me.
Because, scripture says that a quiet word turns away wrath. But for you to have a quiet word when someone is angry or shouting at you, you have to take the more humble position.
Exactly.
And to be honest, like when you texted me, like, can we talk? I was really like, hey, Precious is good to hear it. And like, I was so ready to be like, oh, so you've come back to say that you're sorry. And when you're just like, you just owned up, even though like, you just took charge somehow, I felt so much shame. I now see the wisdom of God. Like, God saying, be the first person to reach out. Or if somebody does evil to you, don't pay back evil with evil. I feel like I really learned from that.
It was really hard because I remember when God told me to get a gift for you. And
okay, that's the second one.
Wow,
yeah.
That first one, I think to a degree I had... Guys, listen to God, Sha. To a degree, I had just, and it's the thing I'm talking about. Don't lie to yourself. Like if your friend brings something to you and says you hurt me, don't sit down there and be like, what did I do? But what I did is not that bad.
Yeah,
do you understand? Look at it and be like, this is their own experience. Step out of your shoes, step into their shoes, and then. I'm sorry cannot kill. Oh my God. It's like repentance. You come up higher, you get to a higher perspective. And then you even learn more about that person, about that friendship, about how to respect them, about their boundaries, So like when I had that conversation, I just truly looked at it like, okay, fine. I see where Ezinne wronged me. I also see my own fault. See, that's the thing. Own up, leave the one that the person did. Own up to yours. It might even be your owning up that would open the other person's eyes. but I might be dragged for this. But in this, our Gen Z thing and our pride and exactly like everybody is just consumed in their own self. Me. And I've been guilty of this. I've had to actually learn the hard way. They are taking me a lot to come to this point. But even that second time when God was like, because it's like, God, I love how scripture will say, take out the log of wood in your own eyes before you start judging other people. I remember I was so angry that I could not look at your post on Instagram.
Wow.
I was like, you tell me. No, I'm like, I don't want to see this girl. I said, I don't want to see this girl at all.
Yeah.
But when God was like, all those things that you held in your heart against her, tell her. I was like, bro, She can't shame. She wants to make me.
Because I read sometimes too, we are scared of letting people know that we even care.
Yeah.
Or, just in case they like throw it back at us and they just make you feel finished. So there's a fear of even saying that, what you did even had the ability to like touch
me. Yeah. I had to do a lot of internal search and God just showing me this is a hard word, evil. This is where your heart was evil because you had held this person up unrighteously in your heart. Like we all do this thing. Like you just be like, I think it's not even that fine. And you are in that point acting very evil. You understand? It's very easy to, when someone does something, you look at them and you say, but let them bring your own heart. So just taking my heart to God and seeing how, God was like, this thing you did was wrong. It doesn't matter if this person really actually did hurt you, but what you did in these parts that nobody else in the world saw but me, God, own up and having that position with you made me feel very free. In friendship, is it really complicated?
It is precious because I feel like sometimes people just want to know you on a personal level so that they can just sort of fulfill their like curiosity about you.
Like I feel like how we looked at it when we were 20, 21, 22, it's not how we're looking at it now because right up on, I think it was even a couple of months back, I began to understand what friendship is.
So what is friendship?
I'm going to preach. No, okay, for real. Where I'm at, and I think I was having this conversation with Toby earlier today, and I was telling him that I'm currently tracing philosophies, ideas, patterns of doing things back, like tracing its genealogy. Where did it come from? Where did it? So the best way, the only way, you can't use, the only way to, or rather, you can't know an Apple product better than the owners of Apple.
Yeah.
So and friendship is not it's like marriage too. It's not a world thing. God is the one that orchestrated these things. So you actually have to look at his perspective and see how God sees friendship. And this would now enable you or allow you know how to act, because as last year, I didn't even know how to be in a friendship. I didn't know how to commit in a friendship. I didn't know how to give myself. I was giving myself to everybody. I had to withdraw and be like, no. Yeah, evaluate. This person is not my friend. And when you say this person is not my friend, it does not mean this person is your.
Yeah,
it's like when you say that's not my husband.
Yeah,
if this person is not your friend, you understand this. And then when you are saying, when I call you my friend, wow. I actually came to even realize that it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's actually something that you should take very seriously, because I pray for my friends. I have to pray for my friends. Jesus prayed for his friends. I have to pray for my friends. I have to sacrifice for my friends. I have to make commitments for my friends.
Yeah.
The underlying fact is that, or the underlying principle before you start doing these things is that you have chosen this person, they have chosen you, either because they know that God has ordained us to be friends. Like once you know that this person is meant to be your friend, either for this season or for that season, then you cannot, I can't now come and be tracing you how I will treat my acquaintances. So we will not talk every day, but I'm bearing you in mind. I'm committing to you. When you need me, I will be there. I cannot, Precious before used to be there for everybody. and I ended up burning out. I ended up being very hot, very heartbroken, because what I expected from people that I called my friends, I was not getting it. And I'm like, but I'm sacrificing, I'm living, I'm there for them, I'm this, I'm that, yada, yada, yada. You have to now look at Jonathan, look at David.
Do you know that what I was going to talk about? Oh my God. I didn't get mine, Lord.
And you see how sacrificial Jonathan was. Like, how many supposed friends of this our generation can do that manner of thing for another person?
Jonathan was supposed to be king next.
Do you understand?
But I was telling David, I know God has anointed.
Do you understand?
Like, that's actually...
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy. It's a lot of work. So I'm saying all of this to say, I now began to understand what friendship actually is. And it is something that you can't share with everybody.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot share with everybody.
So no outer court friends.
I have outer court relations. I will use that term. Not friends.
I like that.
My inner courts or holy of holies or my three are my friends.
I like that.
Do you understand? But outside of that, and if you look at me bluntly and say me, Precious, we're not friends. Thank you very much. It means my prayer list has shortened. Because my friends, I know their purpose. I know where they're supposed to.
You also know their prayer points.
Their prayer points. Like, you understand? I have a friend who is currently in a very interesting season. And I woke up today and I was just praying for strength for her because I know I can't do that for everybody. Like, do you know how hard it is to entertain for someone?
Yeah.
You can't do that for everybody.
And I think sometimes like somebody might see this now and be like, oh, I like Precious. I should have her as a friend because they are thinking of like, oh, Precious says she can pray. Very good. Come on.
But I actually got to this place. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of painful work. Trust me, a lot of... and people would have better friends if you allowed yourself to be accountable to other people. What people are doing now is they are just shuffling. You don't like people that you don't like anybody correct. You don't like people that tell you the truth. The reason why I knew that I needed to change in certain things, like, if my friend said something to me earlier, I think a month or some weeks back, I can't remember when, and she said to me, I don't feel seen by you. Like, I feel like this is my bosom purpose friend. And she said to me, I don't feel helped. I don't feel like you have my back at this time. I didn't think that. In all honesty, I think I was actually, but oh my God, I took it and I was really sad. But I took it and I went to learn. I did not say, no, you cannot say that though. I've done this, I've done that. No. Like, you might be providing your friend or giving yourself in a capacity that they don't need. So you need to know the capacity that your friend... I think we've said so many things. But yeah, friendship is... I'm saying this to say that it's not so complicated. You're just doing it with the wrong people. It's not so complicated. You're just doing it with the wrong people because... I know my friend knows me. We know what we like. We know what we don't like. And it's just easy, listen more, communicate more, have hard conversations, and don't pick everybody.